Hi there, how are you? My name is Nick, and the topic of discussion for tonight that I did my counseling simulation project on is Child Glasser's reality therapy. One of the main focus points of reality therapy is making sure that outcomes are pretty much driven or derived from by the student itself or themselves. Something that we look for in reality therapy, especially when working with students, is helping them devise a plan, um, moving forward kind of from where they're at. And it's pretty much just teaching them about focusing on personal responsibility of their choices and their actions and kind of coming up with, a new plan and kind of like what the outcomes are of each of those. As we all know, for this assignment, we had to choose 3 techniques to use. As you will see in the video, I did utilize, for my first technique, is a self-assessment sheet or tool. It's pretty much trying to gauge where the student is at. So if at any time, you have a student coming in and it's about kind of like feeling, kind of where they're at in terms of like personality, like what are they thinking about, you can just hand it to them. Something that we did learn in class, I guess, about this as well is the feeling of love and belonging, power, fun, freedom, and survival. So each of those 5 elements are on the self-assessment sheet, and how I ranged it is low and high. There are no numbers involved, there's nothing there. It's kind of like just kind of where are you today? Tell me where you're at. How are you feeling overall? If you want to do it in like per week, or like how are you feeling this week? If you're doing like a once a week type of deal, or if it's like an everyday issue that a student is coming to you, that's fine as well. We know from the video that she did score, or you will know from the video that she did score low for each of those categories, and that's something that she needs to understand. And it's kind of like, why is she scoring low? Does she feel like she's failing in any of those categories? Her answer was yes. So our job is to kind of change that and put her more on a success-driven path. And how, she can help herself solve her issues. That's kind of like where the main goal is, or what you want to do. For the second technique, something that I did utilize, and I didn't go in depth in the video kind of which is okay, but it's just something that you should take note on, is her ability to take account for her own actions and how she can control them. So or in the video, let's just say, as I was kind of asking her about how is she feeling about her family, she scored low on this for love and belonging. Was she not feeling loved and belonged? What is going on in her daily life? So something else that we gauge was her eating habits. So that's the survival piece of it. She mentions that she's going back to classes and she's not really eating or taking care of herself. And that was a big concern that I think we all have. Especially when students come up to us, we do tend to kind of be concerned for them. I would assume so, considering you are going into higher education and it is all about students. It's not about us anymore. But the main goal there was kind of like, how is she changing it? So that is something that I kind of had her say, like, are you familiar with this? Like, this is something that you are doing, but this is how you're changing it. It was never about me helping her change it, or it is about me helping her change it, I guess, but it's more about her taking responsibility for it and saying that, this is now my choice. I am choosing to eat a granola bar instead of I can't eat a granola bar and I'm going to just be starving all day. And, that's not good for them either. In terms of the third technique that was utilized in the video, it's pretty much about how we should reflect ourselves, our image when we are dealing with students. And it's to be in an open, engaged environment that you feel that the student can be honest with you, that there's a certain level of sincerity involved, that you are being, or that you're trustworthy. I know that some situations, depending on where you are, because if you're in counseling, like how I presented it in the video, not in just everyday life, them coming to your office, you do have to stress that anything that they tell you can be confidential up until the point where it can either hurt themselves or hurt others, and that's something that the student needs to understand anytime that they come to you. So something that we do learn. but that's why I ask her in the video, which I would never do, but like I would ask her kind of just to gauge it and to make sure that we are on point with the entire piece of it, was just to ask Tracy kind of, do you appreciate coming to me? Do you appreciate talking to me? How are you about that? And she pretty much responded, yes, I love coming to you. I was honest, I was open with pretty much everything that we had to talk about, and that feeling of her wanting to come back to me is what it's all about. So I'm glad that was portrayed that way, and it was designed pretty much so. Aside from that, during the session, I wanted to help her kind of see where she was being a failure, and how we changed it, again, to put her on that successful path and making her realize that she can actually control her own outcomes in life, regardless of what they are. And it's not, just because it's, she's having a bad day, she's dealing with loved ones, she's eating unhealthy, or not eating at all. And it's just something that she has a control over. So something to remember before you walk away, especially with reality therapy, is understanding that our primary goal is to have the client choose their own path. And that's going to lead to a successful outcome in the end for the patient or client or student or whoever you're dealing with. And it's something very important to stress. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy the video. Oh, Tracy, what's wrong?
I'm just so upset.
Why? What happened? Talk to me. What's going on?
I'm failing everything. It's midway through the semester. I just failed a midterm. I didn't even have time to study for it. I'm just so stressed. I failed that, and I'm failing all my other classes. Like, I don't know what to do. I started fighting with my parents. I don't know if I want to stay there anymore. I don't know if I want to go back there during the summer when school's over. Like right now I'm fighting with my roommates. So no matter what I do, like I feel just completely stressed and overwhelmed. I don't know. I just need a cigarette.
Have you started smoking?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's not good, Tracy. Okay. So maybe we can talk about some things that are happening today with you. Is there anything else that you feel?
I just feel so worried. I don't know what to do. Sorry, I'm having really shortness of breath right now. I just feel like I'm just like this hamster on a wheel and I can't get off, and it just keeps going and going and I can't catch up, and I'm just running and I don't stop, and I just feel so stressed.
That's definitely something. Would you mind doing me a big favor? I have a self-assessment sheet here for you to fill out. If you wouldn't mind filling that out for me, that'd be greatly appreciated. And then maybe we can discuss kind of, how to proceed from here. Okay, does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Low for everything.
Okay, so is that how you, I can see that's how you feel. Okay, so for love and belonging, you're pretty much on the lower end of the spectrum here. So it doesn't look like, are you not feeling loved or belonged in anything? So I see you're fighting with your friends and family.
I'm fighting with my mom and my dad. And then at my room at school, I'm fighting with my roommate too. So like, no matter where I go, I feel like I have nowhere to go.
Wow, okay.
Nobody will listen to me.
All right, so let's work on that today too. We'll get through our session. And then for power, I see that, do you feel like you're not better than other people, or that you are better than other people? Because you scored low for this one too. So
I just feel like everything is overwhelming and I don't have the power to overcome it.
okay, so you feel like you're out of control? Like
Yes,
you're
I
not in
just
control
don't
of
feel
your
like I'm
life
in
right now.
control at all.
Okay. And then
I'm
for
not
fun,
having
you're not having
fun
fun either.
at
Okay, so I
all.
can see that. And then for freedom, are you, how are you looking now? Like, what is your,
I have no time. I have no freedom.
so your life is,
It's all school and work.
okay, so you
I
feel
go
like
to
you're on a
class,
schedule,
then I
and
go to
that's what-
work,
that's
and
what
then I
you're
go to
working down
class again. Like, it's just nonstop, and I have no time for me. I feel like I don't have any time to do anything for myself.
Okay, I feel that. And then for survival, I see a little hope here. It doesn't look like it's all the way down. Are you thinking about, are you eating? Are you drinking? Do you have somewhere to live? You say you're fighting with your roommate still, but like, are you living in your,
Yes.
residential
I
room?
I
Like-
do sleep at my dorm, but like I don't know. I just don't like being there with her. She's just not a nice person to me. And with eating, you know what? I bring a granola bar to class because I go back to back to back to back. To class, to work, to class. I bring my work clothes with me, and you know, sometimes I don't have time or the money to go buy food. So, you know, there are days where I just don't eat lunch and I'll go from breakfast to dinner.
So you mentioned that you don't have time to eat. Are you able to make time in your schedule, do you think? Do you think that would be a good idea for you?
I mean, I know that I should. I have my fridge in my room at school.
Okay.
I just have to find the time to actually go shopping and fill it with food and then take it with me. That would be a good idea. And I know it's doable. It's just hard to find that time to actually meal plan.
Okay, so that's you know, that's definitely something that at least you're able to take responsibility of. That you know that you're not, you know, eating as much as you should be, but you should be changing that. So maybe that's a plan that we can work on for you, right? We can work that into your schedule.
Yeah.
You know, is there something in your life that you feel, you know, aside from this, because you right now you feel like this is your low point, but is there something you can look to help you get through it? I mean, I know coming to me probably helps you. Do you feel like that's
Yeah,
helpful when you
'cause
come
I
here? Do you feel like
can't-
it's wasting your time? Like these are
No,
things that.
I wouldn't have come here if I felt like it was wasting my time. I honestly didn't know who else to talk to because I can't talk to my roommates and I can't talk to my parents, so.
I appreciate that. It's definitely a bond, well reciprocated. So whenever you do feel the need to come, please knock on my office door. If I'm not with anyone, you're more than welcome to stop by. Now that we just finished our almost 1 hour session, I'm pretty confident in what you came up with here is a strong and solid plan, you know, that we worked out together, but it's your ideas here, your goals, your ambitions, everything that you know, want to achieve within the next month, I would say. You know, we're starting small and then we're gonna work somewhere larger. But you know, take this with you, look for it, and then unfortunately that's all the amount of time that we do have for today. If you wanted to schedule another appointment, you're more than welcome to. You know, it's up to you. It's about your time and availability.
Thank you so much. I think I could do this. Thank you so much for helping me. I really appreciate it. I feel a lot better. And thank you for being so warm and honest. It really means a lot to me.
You're very welcome, Tracy. All right, I'm glad that this was a wonderful session for you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll see you next time.
Thank you.